Hello everyone, welcome back to this Swayam course, Introductions to Farm Machinery and Implement. We already started talking about sowing methods and equipments for sowing. In previous class, we were talking about different type of sowing methods, and we also talked about seed drill, different components of seed drill, and uh, seed metering mechanism, different type of seed metering mechanisms, and their working principle. In this class, we will be talking about seed drill furrow openers, the another component of the seed drill, and we will also talk about planting and planters. So, furrow openers is the component of the seed drill where its function is to open the furrow to a desired depth in which the seed will be placed. So, seed metering mechanism will take care about metering of seed and dropping them into the seed pipe or seed hose, and from there the seed received by the seed pipe will be carry the seeds into the ground or onto the surface where it's supposed to be dropped. So it must be dropped into the furrow, and furrow must be opened for it, and for that reason furrow openers are used. So there are different types of seed drill seed drill furrow openers are there. It may be used in planters as well. There are shovel type furrow openers, shoe type furrow openers, and disc type furrow openers. In case of shovel type furrow openers, again there are three types of shovels are used. One is the reversible shovels. It is also called as double point shovel, and this single point shovel is the another one, and spear point shovel is the third type of shovel which are used as a furrow opener in this seed drill. So this is how the shovel type furrow openers are look like. So generally this type of furrow openers are best suited for such a land where the land is full of stony and root infested from the previous crop. So in such kind of field, the shovel type furrow openers are recommended. So these shovels are bolted into the tine or into the furrow opener shank at the bottom at the lower point, so that it can able to open the furrow to a desired depth and make a required width of furrow, where into this open furrow the seed will be dropped from the seed tube. So the one which is there on the screen is equipped with reversible shovels. As you can see that where on the screen I am marking it highlighter or with the pen in red color. So that is the shovels which are placed on the shank or the tine with the help of nut and bolt mechanism. So one which you are seeing here is the reversible shovel. Why it is called as reversible shovel? Because it is also called, it is also called as a double point shovels, because it has two working elements. Two working points. It has two sharp point in both the hand, and if we using this one, we will continue to use till this point become blunt due to wear and tear, and as it become blunt or due to wear and tear, we will loosen this nut and bolt and we will reverse it, and therefore that is unused sharp point will comes to the bottom and blunt will goes to the top, and that's how this shovel will be used for long period until both the sharp point edge become blunt, and that's why it is called as the reversible shovel. So whenever you go in India, most of the seed drills are equipped with the double point or reversible shovels. In case of a single point shovel, there will be only one pointed portion in the shovel, and another one will be the flat. So as this sharp point become blunt, you need to replace the entire unit. So whereas in case of the one which is mentioned here, the shovel spear point shovel, so it will look something like a spear like point, soil working point, similar to the one which I drawn on the screen, and it will be used to open the furrow. So again it will be bolted into the this shank or into that tine. So here you can see that regular seed cum fertilizer drill where that furrow shovels are attached into the shank or into the tine with the help of nut and bolt. The rear part of this component is called as the boot. As it is written here, it is called as the boot. So this boot is the part of the furrow opener where that seed pipe which are carrying the seed by receiving them from the seed meter mechanism and conveying them into the rear of the furrow openers. So where that pipe connects the furrow opener is called as the boot of the furrow opener. So that's how the shovel type furrow openers will work. Similarly, the another type of furrow opener is the show type furrow openers, where they are used for soil where it is full of thrashes and the field is not prepared smoothly. So those fields which are not prepared smoothly, for them the shovel type furrow openers are used. They are made by using two flat pieces made of steel or iron, mild steel. They are joined in such a way in order to form a cutting edge. So the two metal plates are joined at an angle by welding, and that's how they form a cutting edge tool. And with the help of them, we can open the furrow to a desired depth and width in the soil where the soil is full of thrashes and that field is not properly prepared. I mean, smoothly prepared. So there are crop residues present over it. The field is not smooth. There are floods also. In such cases, in such fields, the show type furrow openers are recommended. So it is especially suited for black cotton soil where the soil is hard, I mean heavy, and for such kind of field, show type furrow openers are recommended. So here also there are two pipes at the boot section. They connect, one for seed, another for fertilizer. So like that they will connect. So any one for the seed and any one for fertilizer. So they will conducted with the pipe. They carry in the seed or fertilizer by receiving the seed or fertilizer from the seed metering or fertilizer metering mechanism. The next type of furrow opener is a disc type furrow opener. It's a special kind of furrow openers and not commonly used in Indian scenario unless the soil is requiring it. So there are two types under the disc type, single disc type and double disc type. So out of these all three, shovel type is most commonly used. So disc type furrow openers are found suitable best for the field where it consists of plant debris and thrashes and mulches present on the field. Wherever the soil is full of plant debris, thrash and mulches, and they are not permitting any other tools to penetrate and make a furrow, in such field, disc type furrow openers are attached into the seed drill to open the furrow where the seed will be dropped. So in case of single type disc harrow, single type disc type furrow openers, this is how the seed drill will equipped with the single disc. They are set at an angle with the horizontal as well as the vertical so that they can cut the soil to a shallow depth and make a furrow. Into the furrow they are making, the seeds will be dropped by collecting them from the seed meter mechanism and carrying through the seed tubes and dropping them in the furrow. Whereas in case of double disc type furrow openers, so individual furrow opener will have a set of disc. Set of disc here consists of a two disc. Again, they are set at an angle and they cut the soil and throw opposite to each other. And that's how they form a ridge, a small ridge between the two discs. And into that ridge, the seed will be sown. So the seed will be sown and later, as the seed sown and the ridge is formed, so seed will be covered. That is the one way of sowing the seed. Otherwise, you can sow the seeds on small ridge and later it can cover it with the other seed covering devices. Okay. So in both the cases where the discs are used as a furrow opener, either as a single disc or double disc type, so they must come with the scrapers. So the scrapers are responsible for keeping the disc clean always by removing the soil which tend to stick into the concave surface. I was also telling while we talking about disc harrows and disc plow, so there also scrapers will be there. The scrapers will always are required to keep the disc clean by removing the soil which tend to stick into the internal surface of the concave, disc concave. So this is how the seed drills will look like, and these are all the main components of the seed drill. So the very first one, this is the seed box. Seed box is always divided into two compartments lengthwise. First half for the seed and another half for the fertilizer. At the bottom of the seed hopper or seed box, the meter mechanism is provided. The meter mechanism will carry the seed at controlled rate, which is already set. According to that set rate, the metering mechanism will carry the seed and they will meter the seed and drop them into the furrows. These seed tubes. These seed tubes will receive the seed and they will carry into the boot of the furrow opener. and from there that seeds will be dropped into the furrow, which are opened by the furrow openers. And it also comes with the ground wheel. So this wheel is also called as drive wheel. Sometimes it is also called as transmission wheel, like that. Alternatively, it is called as ground wheel, drive wheel, transmission wheel. The main functions of that wheel is to provide a drive required for this metering shaft. So the shaft over which the metering units are mounted, so that shaft need to be rotated because it requires a drive to meter the seed. So the drive is taken from the drive wheel or ground wheel or from the transmission wheel. As the drill dragged or pulled forward, so this wheel rotates. As this wheel rotates, the linear motions will be converted into rotary motions, and that rotary motions will be transferred into this metering shaft. So this is all the metering shaft over which the seed metering roller or spindles or plate are mounted. So that all roller will carry grooves. In the grooves, seeds will be carried. Seeds will be metered. So they will collect the seed from one point and they drop into the other point where the seed pipes are placed. And that's how the metering mechanism will function. And the metering mechanism, for its function, it requires a drive, and the drive is always taken from the ground wheel. So ground wheel, as the implement is pulled forward, it will rotate. So its rotary motions will be converted and will be transferred with the set of gear and gear mechanism or chain and sprocket mechanism. And there will be a speed ratio maintenance as well, management as well. There will be required, speed will be stepped up or it will be stepped down according to the sowing seed rate is required. Okay, that all about the seed drill and seed cum fertilizer drill. So initially we started about seed drill and seed cum fertilizer drill, their components. The main part of the seed drill is always, art of the seed drill is a metering mechanism. There are different types of metering mechanisms are there. They do require a motion. The motion for the seed drill or drive for the seed drill is taken from the ground wheel or transport wheel or drive wheel. So like that, the metering mechanism will rotate. As it rotates, it will carry the seeds either on its grooves or on its cells provided on the rotating plate. Okay, so now we are moving to the another method of sowing, that is planting. So by now you must have aware about the difference between the planting and seeding or drilling, because while talking about different types of sowing methods or seeding methods, we discussed about it. So planting is a method of seeding or method of sowing where the certain kind of seeds require plant to plant spacing, and that is ensured here. So in case of a seed drill, we sow the seeds in a continuous flow like manner without maintaining a spacing between the seed to seed or into the plant between the plant to plant. But only we will maintain only the row to row spacing in case of a seed drill or seed cum fertilizer drill. Whereas in the planting, so we will also ensure the definite spacing between the plant to plant or between the seed to seed. So any method where the plant to plant spacing is maintained in addition to the row to row spacing, so that method of sowing or seeding is called as the planting. The device which is used for that is called as, that operation is called as planter. So planter is normally used for those seeds which are relatively larger in size and they require space, seed to seed spacing. They are not sown in a continuous flow like manner as it is the case in case of seed drill. So there are some functions that individual planter is supposed to perform, and these functions again remain same as the functions the seed drill or seed cum fertilizer drill do. One function among the various functions that planter do is opening up of a furrow. For that it requires a component called furrow opener, and once the furrow opener is opened, at the same time the seed metering mechanism will be there that will meter the seed at desired seed rate, and that is taken care by the seed metering mechanisms. And once the seed is metered, then that metered seed will be carried by the seed tube into the furrow, and that will be deposited in the furrow. Once the seed is deposited, transferred from metering mechanism into the furrow, then it will be deposited there in an acceptable pattern. Then later, as the seed is deposited, it will be covered with the soil, and sometime there will be some compaction given around the seed as well for its better germination. So like that, these are all some of the functions the planter will do. The planter consists of component or parts like hopper, where the seeds are stored, or it will hold the seed, and it will have a metering mechanism. So here also metering mechanism of a planter is considered to be part of the that equipment. So it take care about placing the seed at desired seed rate by metering the seed from the seed hopper and putting them into the placing them into the seed pipe. There is a knockout arrangement and also cutoff mechanism. These two will take care about carrying of single seed by the metering mechanism in individual cell. By the cutoff mechanism, it will take care. With the help of knockout arrangement, it will take care about delivery or discharge of seed out of the cell or from the groove at the discharge sprout, so that the cell will be kept clean always as they passes out. Kept empty. The cell will kept empty as they passes out over the delivery sprout. So the cell must carry the seed from the seed hopper to the delivery sprout, where that seed must be dropped, and from there that empty cell comes back to the seed hopper or seed pool, where it will pick up the seed. So that is only possible whenever the seed is discharged at right time. The right time here is at the point where it's supposed to get discharged or ejected out of the cell at the delivery sprout. So cutoff mechanism take care about carrying single seed by individual cell or the pockets, because planter is for sowing the seed where it maintain the plant to plant spacing. That is only possible whenever you seed the single seed in each places in a furrow. So furrow opener, as usual, they are the part of the planter to open the furrow to a uniform depth and width, and it may come up with other accessories also. So here the other accessories include uh, gauge wheel to maintain the depth of furrow opening, or seed covering devices to cover the seed once that seed is sown in the furrow, some other transport wheel to carry the implement whenever that implement is off the field. For like that, there might be some accessories which you can use because they are need based. They are not mandatory type of component. It comes along with the planter. So this is how the planter will look like. So most of the cases, the planter will have individual seed box for each furrow openers. So each furrow openers have their own seed boxes and seed metering mechanism, and sometimes they also have separate drive wheel or ground wheel from where the drive required for the seed metering mechanism is obtained. And sometimes they also have separate fertilizer box for each furrow, or will have a common fertilizer box for each furrow. So in these two pictures, the both of examples you can see. So in the first one, so there are individually mounted furrow seed boxes where the seeds are placed, and number of boxes are equal to number of furrow openers. Similarly, there will be a seed box fertilizer boxes also, or if it is only a seed planter, there will be no fertilizer box and only seed will be sown at the time of sowing. Whereas in the next picture, as you can see, there are around 6 seed boxes are there for 6 furrow openers, and there is one common fertilizer box where the fertilizers are filled there. So at the time of sowing, the fertilizers and seeds both are metered and they will be dropped into the opened furrow, and later they will be closed, which is by soil covering devices, whether either it comes with the seed drill as an integral part, or it will be it will be plonking operation which will be done separately after the seeding is done. So always, for your information, I would like to tell you that the seed and fertilizer, they must be placed apart to each other, because what happens if fertilizer fall over the seed. So fertilizer is obviously we use the chemical fertilizers, and since they are chemicals, there might be some chemical reactions which may take place while they are applied on the soil, and that may somewhere minimizes the germination rate of the seed. So keeping that in view, it is recommended to sow the seed 25 mm shallow than the fertilizer, and 25 mm apart besides the fertilizer. In the sense, the fertilizer will be placed 25 mm below the seed, and 25 besides to seed. So that's how the seed will be kept, not in contact with the fertilizer as it is sown in the field. In such cases, it is observed the maximum amount of germination than the seed which are sown where the seed is will come in contact with the fertilizer. So as far as the seed metering devices is concerned, for the planter, the one which we use in the seed drill is not suitable for it, because in the seed drill, most commonly used metering mechanisms are like footed feed roller metering mechanism, internal double run type metering mechanism, cup feed metering mechanism, agar feed metering mechanisms, what we discussed in one of the previous lecture. So they all will carry the seeds in a continuous manner. They never maintain plant to plant spacing. So therefore, they are not at all used on planter. In planter, such a kind of meter mechanisms are used where it can able to maintain a plant to plant spacing as well, in addition to maintaining row to row. So most common type of devices which are used as a meter mechanism in planter are rotating plate type planter, where it is placed at the bottom of the seed hopper, and that rotating plate will carry cells on its periphery. It may be notches, or it may be a pockets or something like that, and each cell or pockets, they will carry the seed, and they carry the seed from the seed hopper, and they will deliver them into the delivery spot, where that seed pipe will receive them and convey them into the hopper. Some planters will also have vertical rotor and inclined rotor as well, but the horizontal plate seed drill plate seed metering mechanism is quite common in case of a planter. As far as seed, maize planter is concerned, groundnut planter is concerned, red gram planter is concerned. So in all the such crops, crops are concerned, horizontal plate type of metering mechanism is quite commonly used. So horizontal plate type of seed drill, horizontal seed plate type of metering mechanism will have a notches or holes, and which are called as cell. So these notches will be on their periphery. So depending upon the type of notches, this plate will be three types: edge drop type, flat drop type, and heel drop type. So in case of edge drop type, they have a cells on its periphery. That cell here is a notches, as you can see in this picture. The first one, the top one, the edge drop, where it is a plate having notches on its periphery, and the size of the notches is equivalent to the type of seed which we are going to sow. So they are precisely made so that they can able to accommodate only one seed in each cell. As the disc rotates in this way, so half of this disc will be at bottom of the seed hopper. So there will be pool of seed on the bottom of the hopper, and any one seed will come and sit into these notches. As this disc will rotate, the seed will be carried, and there will be a delivery spot somewhere here, where the seeds will be dropped, and they will be carried into the furrows, and they will be deposited in the furrow open for dropping the seeds. And that's how the edge drop metering mechanism will work. Similarly, there is a flat drop metering mechanism also, where it has a support from the bottom, where the notches are there. Notches are having support from the bottom, so that the seed will sit on the bottom plate, and they will be move along with the disc as long as they reaches into the delivery spot. So as they approach the delivery spot, there will be a empty or open space below the notches, and from there the seeds will be dropped. So such kind of meter mechanism are called as flat drop horizontal type meter mechanism. There is another type of meter mechanism which we called as a heel drop. So they are similar to the first one, edge drop, but the size of the notches is big. They are having a large opening, the large cells. The large cell is intentionally provided here because in each cell they can able to accommodate more than one seeds. There are several seeds it can carry in each time, and that's how the more than one seeds will be carried in each notches, and they all will be dropped similarly, and that's how in every hills there will be more than one seedlings they may emerge as the seed germinate. So you can recall in while we're talking about different methods of sowing, we also discussed about hill dropping or hill drill, hill drop drill. So hill drop drill is nothing but sowing the seeds in the hills and in each hill there will be more than one seeds are sown. So such kind of sowing operations, the hill drop metering mechanism will be used, and that kind of sowing method is called as hill drop planting, where the hill to hill spacing is maintained in addition to the row to row, and at the same time in each hill there will be more than one seed sown. Okay, so this is the planter where the seeds are placed. I mean, the seed drill is having inclined surface. Here you can see the seed planter, where the first box is for fertilizer. It carries the fertilizer in this, and at the bottom there is a metering mechanism, which similarly there are 4 seed boxes where the seeds will be placed here, and at the bottom there is a opening. From there the seeds will approach into this inclined rotating plate, and inclined rotating plate has a teeth on its periphery, or notches. In these notches it carries the seeds, and it will drop those seeds into the where the seed tubes are there. So seed carrying tubes are there, and into that seed carrying tubes the seeds will be dropped, and that's how the metering will take place in case of a planter. Okay, so there is, as I already told you, there is a mechanism called cutoff mechanism and knockout mechanism in case of planter. So in seed drill you can only see the cutoff mechanism, whereas in the planter there is another component called knockout mechanism as well. So cutoff mechanism is the mechanism it will take care about multiple seed carrying. Whenever the seed notches are carrying more than one seeds, these cells or notches, they're meant for carrying single seed, but due to some reason, immature, I mean improper size of the seed and all, so they may carry multiple seeds. So that is not desired as far as planting operation is concerned. So in such cases the cutoff mechanism will take care about this kind of occurrence by removing the excessive seed being carried in that notches. So knockout mechanism is a mechanism where it is used to drop the seed at the point where they're supposed to drop. So sometime what happens, if any seeds which will stuck into the notches, they will not get discharged at the point where supposed to discharge. So they keep circulating, and they will not carry the new seed since that seed is already stuck in that notches. So that will make the missing of seed in the soil, I mean in the furrow, and that ultimately disturbs the uniform sowing of seed. So to prevent such an occurrence, the knockout mechanism will be provided. It may consist of a roller, it may be a star wheel type or rounded point. It will provide some impact force on the the metering plate at the point where the seed must be discharged, so that any seed which are stick on into the plate will be removed off, and they will be delivered into the delivery sprout. So the delivering of seed at the discharge point will be taken care by the knockout mechanism, whereas the cutoff mechanism is for taking care of single seed carrying by the individual cells by removing the excessive seeds which tend to sit or occupy in the provided notch. So in case of vegetable planter, sometime the metering mechanism will be some vegetable planters. In case of vegetable planter, they may be a semi-automatic type, or it may be automatic type. Whenever any planter is said to be semi-automatic, they require more human interference for metering operations or metering purpose. So one person will be engaged riding the tractor, where this implement is attached to the tractor. Another 1 or 2 persons will sit on the implement, and there will be a seed hopper or seed box where the seeds are filled, and there is a metering mechanism just close to the metering seed box, and there are seats also, sitting arrangement for the farm laborers who will sit on that seat and take the seed from the seed hopper and place them into this rotating disc. So this rotating disc will have a pockets on its surface, and into that pockets the seed will be placed. The placed seed will be carried and they will be deposited into the opened furrow. So this type of arrangement, if there, then we call it as a semi-automatic planter. So semi-automatic plants are generally equipped with ridges, and we call them as a ridge planter in such cases. Okay, so in case of automatic planter, there will be no manual intervention or interference, though the metering mechanism itself is able to pick the seed from the seed box and deposit them into the delivery spot, where the seed will placed on the opened furrow, either into the furrow or into the bed. So if it is being placed on the bed, then it is called as the bed planter. If it is placing on the furrow, then it is called as a furrow planter. So in both the cases, the device may be used. So if the furrow opener will be the ridge former. In case of this, the furrow opener will be ridge former, and they will form the ridge. Into the ridge, the seed will be dropped, and seed metering mechanism will done automatically with the help of a picker wheel mechanism or picker arm type mechanism. So while talking about different types of seed meter mechanism, we also talked about picker wheel mechanism. So picker wheel mechanism will have such a arrangement where they can able to pick the seed from the seed hopper and place them into the delivery sprout, or they may have a continuously rotating belt mechanism, and the belts come with the pegs, and in the pegs the seed will be carried, and they will pick up the seed from the hopper, and pick up seed will be dropped as they approaches to the delivery sprout, and that discharged seed will fall by gravity into the bed where they're supposed to be planted. Okay, so that's how the planting operations will be discussed, or it will be explained. You can use these references for further reading regarding the sowing, seeding, drilling, planting, and different type of metering mechanisms. Thank you all.